Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us this evening. It is Mayegun Live. Just in case if you observe that the picture is not so clear. I think they are carrying out what is called maintenance. My internet provider sent me a message a day or so ago to carry out a maintenance, something in their own equipment or something. So I'm going to switch to broadband in a moment. But share the broadcast. Facebook. YouTube. Once again, I apologize for that poor picture. I thought it was going to be better, but it seemed not to show that it's going to be better. So I've switched the internet now, and let's hope it gets clearer and better as we get on, right? So share this. After reading the caption of this broadcast, read the description of this broadcast, and like it, share it to invite your friends and not so friendly friends and tell them that Mayegun today. I think it's better now, isn't it? Motide, thank you so much for joining me again. It is Mayegun Live. I have come tonight with loads of gists. Some of them come with longer video watch, just so you kind of have to understand in detail the subjects whenever it is their turn. So if you haven't read the description of this broadcast before you fully settle down, I advise you do so. It's just going to take you about a minute. Read it, share it. People have been sharing, should we say, they have been unearthing some of the old clips of Tinubu and his gang in the last 10, 15, 20 years of Nigeria's demonstration of grace. In the past, as everybody sort of should know, Tinubu and his gang, they've always been those organizing public protests in Nigeria in the last 30 years. They have always been involved. And during those periods, which kind of make them more convincing to a lot of people who have met them at the barricade. Okay? It is either they are indirectly funding a protest, even the NLC protest, or they are rightly out there. But today, the people of Tinubu's camp, they have now criminalized public protests. They've tribalized it. it is now considered by them that it is a treasonable felony for you to mobilize yourselves and reject any government policies or decision that you believe are anti-people. Once you begin to mobilize yourselves, then they will unleash a serious propaganda after you. I mean, until they came, people used to be able to gather and express their displeasures. But the moment these guys came in since 2015, killing protesters, shooting them, jailing them became a thing, especially under Buhari. Now, people are saying, I mean, I will be giving you the updates as they are pumping out. The reason is because these are supposed to remain in your subconscious minds. If you really, really want to see the end of this tomfoolery, of this, criminality, so to say. So you need this platform. We all do, to keep our mind afresh, so that those that they have presented to you as heroes or wherever, and you get to see them that they are actually the enemies of the people. It is what they are doing that they accuse others of. Now you have to watch your mouth. You have to watch what you say about Nigeria, that these guys are destroying or completely destroyed. You have to watch what you say. The people that carry the coffin of a sitting president in Nigeria, today you have to watch what you say. Okay? Because you'll be considered the enemy of Nigeria. But guess what? 11 years ago, 2013 or thereabout, apart from the 2011 or the 2012 protest, no, apart from that, Tinubu was always very much vocal. They jump into people's, the people's displeasure, right? And they always sort of exonerate themselves like they are not involved, even though he was busy looting Lagos like never seen before, where you still have that anyway. So the opposition themselves, they will give money to different groups, NGOs, civil society organizations in the states they control. They will give appointment to these NGO guys. They will give them contracts, supply contract, all of that behind the scene. Once they want them to mobilize the people and make it look more or less like, yeah. So they will pay them, they will mobilize, behind the scene. But the moment they are now in power, it became a taboo. It used to be vocal though, right? It's a Tinubu. Nigeria now needs a common sense revolution. A revolution that calls forth a return to decency, probity, transparency of process and outcome. Person we know they transparent too. He tweeted this in 2014. This was after they have formed their APC. Before that, right? This was him. Police, do not crack. They say do not attack protesters. Your children are involved. Your lives are involved. Your children's future lie here. So people have unearthed some of these social media baiting of Tinubu. They are now printing them on t-shirts as part of what they will wear, starting from the 29th of July, when the Okasala will begin to burst. 11 years ago, Tinubu. Please be mindful of the words here, okay? The video you're about to watch. Pay attention to the words he used.
Today, mark the first warning signal to INEC as an institution. They do not represent the interests of Nigerians. They are all compromised electoral officers. They have committed criminal offenses by rigging elections against Nigerians.
Tinubu. Like I said, pay attention to the word usage. He was addressing the INEC of Nigeria. He said rigging election is committing treason. That is just part of the threats that he unleashed on Egbereju Lantern. As opposition, it was good. Yes. The opposition must be strong. You must be, yeah. So they said all of that. If you say things like this today, you are considered somebody who is threatening the unity of Nigeria. Take it again.
Today, not the first warning signal to INEC as an institution. They do not represent the interests of Nigerians. They are all compromised electoral officers. They have committed many criminal offenses by rigging elections against Nigerians.
And is that not what some of you are saying now? That Mr. Yakubu, Tinubu, and all the beneficiaries of the rigged elections are the one controlling Nigeria now. Nigeria don't enter Canada. They said you shouldn't even come out and say anything. I mean, it used to be a normal thing. I think Jonathan was the one that allowed it anyway. Here was Confessor Soyinka.
Corruption in the land.
Should not go to elections under the old electoral laws. It is totally unacceptable. It's a means of perpetuating what is already an illegitimate and corrupt governance. These anomalies have got to be tackled. When you're ready, let us move.
They go by the name Save Nigeria Group, hand in hand, one formidable step at a time. The protesters, led by Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka, marched on, determined to hear their voices heard, their destination, the National Assembly. There is huge presence of security at the National Assembly. The agitation continues, and the protesters continue to chant songs the Nigerian government hate to hear. Corruption in the land.
All of that sponsored by Tinubu behind the scene. Today, Bakaron came out and he said they had meetings. Their Save Nigeria group, God bless the soul of Yinka Odumakin, is dead now. Yinka Odumakin came out and said, this guy, they used to plan all of these things inside his living room in Babylon. And wherever money is needed, whenever money is needed, he was going to be there to load them the money, cash in bag. Oh yeah, please go. Get it done. So we'll make sure that the media are all well paid. They will cover it. Okay. So we'll get those who are going to write the international column against the government as well. And we need people to book them to go on the CNN. It was all of this were all the schemes put together that led Nigeria to where Nigeria is today, no doubt. He paid off. He is the president. Nigeria don't enter Kolo, and people can no longer take it. Now, protest is around. Protest is now, it's not the way out. Protest is now going to cause violence because they are the ones that will organize the violence. Just so you know. So people are uprooting that. They're like bringing that out now, like more. Tinubu should better start paying his soldiers well as his policemen, because with the level of hunger in Nigeria, even Tinubu and the rest of this your political class, they might have actually bite more than they can chew. And if they are not really prepared, even their own police officers will turn and join the same protest, and instead of turning their turning their gun on the people, they may end up turning the gun on these criminals. People are saying that, and it is better to keep amplifying that. It is better to keep knocking it in the head of everyone. You are in a big mess as a country. Tinubu and his gang, I mean, you shall know, say they have bought 2 brand new planes for them. Tinubu and the shitty man. And this, from what we heard, cost Nigeria over $500 million. Now, borrow the money. Now, Sahara reporter said, because there was an image that popped out today. Remember, we said they've already paid for the plane. Right now, they are just kitting the plane in France, where they are going to kit it with all the needed gadgets and all of that will make it different from your normal, airliner or jet or private jet, like the way they shall stock it as presidential jets. That is what, customizing it, that's what they are doing. And guess who got the contracts of buying the 2 aircraft for Tinubu and Shitty Man? Guess anyone? Anyway, don't worry. Gilbert Shaguri, Tinubu's confidant, is the one who purchased these 2 brand new aircraft. And right now, they are kind of like, customizing it in France. So an image popped out. So it's already numbered. The whole thing is on. The inside is almost ready. Meanwhile, Akpabiole in Nigeria is telling Nigerians that Tinubu has not requested for brand new aircraft jets. But if you request for it, they will approve it. Now, without approval of the National Assembly, Tinubu has coughed out more than $500 million, right, to procure 2 brand new presidential jets. Before this will be delivered before December, Tinubu is flying about in Shaguri's private jets. That is the current official jet of Nigeria Presidiot. His confidence private jet, a wanted criminal as well. That is Shaguri, wanted in few. There are some countries that Shaguri should, if his plane lands there, he will never fly out of that countries anymore. But that is Tinubu's confidence, including the United States of America. But hey, you can keep waiting for the renewed shege, the one they promised you, as it is. Yeah? Well, that's just a by the way. This other conversation around the local government autonomy. Now, this is where we're going to have our first long watch. Because I told you, the Supreme Court judgment that said the local government fund should be paid directly to the local government areas themselves, right? It is 774. Normal, it is really, really the best idea. But even by the law, your law in Nigeria, you have 3 tiers of government. Seyi Makinde didn't believe in that, and he never hid that. Okay? To him, a federal system of government is just 2 tiers, the federal and the states. As the federal have the right to create their own agencies and all of that, the state also have the right to create others of power. That is his own belief. But that's not what Nigeria law says, right? And just like others, the Nigerian law says they should create a state local government joint account. Now, as the name sort of indicates, state local government joint account. And the local government revenue, as well as that of the state, should be paid into that consolidated one single account as presented by the state. So the state governors in Nigeria, they now went back. They opened the joint account, which is just one single account, and they added all of their local government areas to that. And they make the anybody appointed as Commissioner of Finance and the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, they are those who are signatory to the account, not the local government chairman. But there is a part where, as the governor is commissioner, the permanent secretary, as they deem fit, depends on the financial health of that state. As the trio deem fit, they will now share the allocation of the local government as they deem fit. And in most cases, they only just pay the salary. Local governments don't pay the salary of their own workers anymore. State governments pay them, and that is not right. But the fraud is that the local government state joint account was supposed to have the state government allocation, local government allocations in the same account, but that is not what happened. The state allocation goes into the state government account. You see, this created joint account, only the local government allocation goes there. And the governor now use it as it fits. In some places, when they pay the salary, wherever they manage to pay salary, the governor will now have to say, okay, I am constructing roads. So, for now, whether you need a health center or you need new teachers, this or that, right? Don't worry. We are going to do the road for now. Next year, we'll do recruitment of teachers. So local government that is meant to be dealing with primary health care, primary education, they no longer employ nurses or doctors. They have no power to employ primary school teachers. The state government does all of that. They conduct examination for them because these are their ways of saying, yes, to justify their usage of the local government money. So they created this and arrogate to themselves the powers they don't have. And because the illegality has been like that for so long, it's just like, okay, maybe that's how it's going to be. Pensioners who are local government pensioners, local government workers who have their gratuities, their allowances, their promotions, all of these are determined according to how the state governor feels. Because if they feel like they don't have money for it, that means they don't have money for it. Now, do you see these state governors now sort of present themselves as the messiahs for the local government areas? That the money they give to the local government is not even enough. And so many people believe that. And it is not true. So Seyi Makinde, like others who are probably working, when the Supreme Court gave the judgments, right? Governors said, well, judgments. But the truth is that the law, they still need to change the law. So they know, right, that the money won't be paid to any local government area until they clear that changing of law, not law. But since Tinubu and his Attorney General, the Minister of Justice, says it is with immediate effect. And allocation, this month's allocation is expected soon. It will be the first time if Tinubu actually really carried out the judgment as they say they would, though. It will be the first time that the state governors in Nigeria, they will be collecting their own allocation, just their own allocation. First time in 20 years. So they are devising means. Instead of joint accounts, Seyi Makinde being the first to publicly show us what they are doing is putting together a committee, okay? A committee that will now be in charge of sharing the local government allocation. What do you mean? The allocation goes straight to the bank account provided by the local government areas. So let's go back, let's roll it back. So the people watching me from or your state. Okay, this was the conversation around local government autonomy before your election in 2019. I mean, take a look.
I refuse to sign for local government autonomy. Anywhere in the world, you don't have 3 people federating. You have 2. You have the state and the federal.
There are 3 tiers of government in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We have Local Government Service Commission, don't we? That means that it is and we have State Civil Service Commission. That shows that there are different categories of governance. And in terms of revenue generation, it's because the state governments in their grid are stealing the functions of the local government.
For you to drive development, you must drive it from the local government, not from the top. Today, in your state, the local government are non-existent. No one is accounting for anything. In 2019, 30 billion. In 2021, 80 billion. In 2022, 79 billion. That is in excess of 0.6 trillion naira, and no one is